train wreck.
I don't want to
Trust further.
I didn't want to go back, cause it was a little rough, man, when you get 70, 96, no, but we had the best generation, I don't care very myself. Best generation.
Is it?
He's not here.
Nicole. Is it 6?
Huh? She's not coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No, I don't think they'll say anything, right?
The chairs.
Do we run the meeting, Bill? Sure. We ready to have it? Sure.
Almost every place. Your chair, then you got your bed. How long do you go, how long do you guys do that? Huh? How long do you guys do that down there at Metro? We just started
Alright,
this year.
it's 6:01, so we will call the meeting to order.
We're gonna do
Start
it, except for the, I
by
think, February and March, we're not gonna do it.
allegiance pledge. Beth, you wanna lead us? Sure.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, let's go through the list. Jill Jackson, I'm here. Mary Wilkerson. Here. Kevin Jackson.
Here.
Dennis Brownfield.
Yes.
Nicole Ford. William Meredith.
Here.
And Johnetta said Nikki is ill tonight, so one has been home. Next on the agenda is public comment. Is there any comments from all three of you? For the record, let's go through the audience for the minutes, and if you can state your name and who you're with.
Eric Malone with the Daily Journal.
Brian Baird, Johnson County Commissioner.
Brian Gregg, Trafalgar Town Manager.
Jeff Bellamy, I've been council assistant on this project.
Gail Sayer, and I've been their financial consultant.
Thank you. Any public comment? Purpose of our meeting tonight is to pass a resolution to merge the townships of Hensley and Nineveh. If there's no public comment, I will entertain a motion. Oh, do we have the resolution? Okay. If I could turn this over to Jeff real quick, if you wanna kind of go over this and explain exactly what we're voting on here.
So, good evening, everybody. Jeff Bellamy for your record. What you have is each respective board has 3 copies of a completed resolution that follows through with the introduced resolution that we had at the last meeting. And what you would need to do is one or the other, doesn't have to be in any particular order. We need to make a motion and a second to adopt your respective resolution to go forward with the merger. If both approve by a majority, then we will go forward with the second part, and that will be to constitute a merged board. But we don't need to do that until we have 2 partners that want to become a merged unit. You've already determined that Janetta was going to stand as being the trustee of the merged township. That's contained in the proposed resolution. I took Gail's numbers that she provided to us, And we show about a $12,800 net total savings with the total reduction of the one township's budget and a slight partial increase of the remaining township's budget. So there's net savings, not massive savings, but worthwhile savings overall, and that will pass through. This doesn't become effective until the first of the year, so you have several weeks to have the two townships work together. And really after tonight, this would be end of the work for these groups. You would finish your respective work for this year. You still have to do your final items for this year. But then I would work kind of backstage with communicating with Secretary of State, Clerk of Courts, distributing all this information to them. And if the work at Franklin Union Needham is any indication, they'll ask me what this is and why we did it, because there aren't very many of these, and we'll go through it again, and they will do the things they need to do in their back office, mostly related to next year's election. So I'm happy to answer any questions. We're pretty limited on public tonight, so unless you have questions, it's ready for either whoever wants to arm wrestle race. I did not bring a quarter, lucky quarter or unlucky quarter to flip.
Any questions from the board members? Or comments? Any comments from either trustee? Hearing none. We need to, vote first on,
Someone would need to make an initial motion on their respective resolution and get it kind of moving through procedurally. I brought 3 copies of each, so each trustee walks away with their own, one of the mirrored ones, and what yours is basically flips, they're mirrored, and then I would walk away with the original so I can distribute that out. So there'll be 3 of them, one for you, 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 and 2 for me.
alright, well, let's go alphabetically. Is there a motion from Hensley Township to adopt the resolution for the merger of the townships?
I'll make a motion.
What was that?
Dennis.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that resolution passed unanimously. And is there a motion for
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Kevin moved to adopt the resolution for the Nineveh Township merger? I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we've got both of them passed unanimously.
If we could just do a little closing party, we just have them sign 3 and send them all down so they end up at the end, is that all right? And then when we're done with that, I'll go over the ballot.
He's wanting me to do all 3 of them at once.
absolutely. We talked about this a little bit last time. And you have the unique distinction of being second in the state for having accomplished a township merger. And the first was to your north, and they had 3 units, and they all easily picked one from each. And so I want to go back over those standards. So there's a different standard if you have less than 3, and it can only be 2, obviously, if there's a merger. And the resulting merged government, so that's you guys right now, are the merged government, shall elect a 3-member township board, and the voters of the resulting group later at the next election will pick the next board, and 1 member has to reside from each of the former units. And you have naturally 2 candidates willing to stand from each location. So we have 4 people vying for 3 spots. We will, by mathematics, solve the 1 from each problem that's required. So no worries on that. We will walk out tonight with at least 1 from each. I'm not worried about that. But we have to come away with 3. And so we, with having 4, have the possibility that we could, but unlikely, have a tie. So, as a matter of just setting sort of what the baseline is or the backstop is, under code, if you have an even number of units, and it was built in when the merger code was written because of the possibility you might have an even number of members on the board, that the trustee would then step in as a member of the board and break the tie. A little unusual for township world. It's how towns do it, and town clerk treasurers act as tiebreakers as a matter of law. All we did was added that feature for trustees solely for tie breaking and mergers. The proposal came to me though, and I think it's a very good proposal. If in the off event we have a tie, that you could, because it is up to the merged government, if the lower vote is the tie vote, not 1A and 1B, but the 3rd member is the tie, you have two tied at the lower, we can have a runoff. And you re-vote. Made a lot of copies. So we have enough to do that maybe once. I would say if for some reason the runoff is inconclusive, and I don't know how that would be, somebody would have to decide to pocket their vote. If that happened, then I would recommend you then go to your tiebreaker, otherwise we'll be coming up with all kinds of variations of parliamentary procedure. I don't think we'll have that. I think we'll get through in the first run. Also too, just so everyone's clear, I wanted to be certain, particularly since last meeting, when we talk about ballots, you're doing your ballots as publicly elected officials, not your ballot as a citizen, pulling the curtain and doing the ballot box and all of this. We're doing everything subject to open door and in the light of day. You're gonna sign and kind of own your ballot. Gail will count with me. She's our financial advisor, so she can help me with the auditing, but I think I could probably handle a 5-vote audit if needed, but just, so we'll look at them both and we'll know tonight who your next board is gonna be. So I'm happy to answer your questions. I wanna make it as simple as possible. Appreciate everybody doing this. It's tough work, and so that you're willing to go through this and put yourself forward. This just gets you through this kind of first phase of the merged unit. There's going to be a whole nother election cycle. There's going to be, the 3 spots will be available. There'll be different positions to be interested in and pursue. Whatever happens tonight is what happens tonight. It doesn't preclude anyone from in the future going on as an appointment, a vacancy, or putting themselves in to be considered for a future position. So happy to help any way I can.
Very good. Everybody has.
You can't select more than 3. Can't select more than 3. Don't have to select 3. Don't have to select any. Kind of hard to, but don't select more than 3. And then we'll go through them and happy to answer your questions. And I don't know if anybody wants to, I leave it to you, you're all very cordial, I don't know if you wanna make any particular statements, those four that are running, or if you would just like to go forward, however you'd like to.
Well, I think we kind of did that last meeting. I think everybody was ready to vote, unless, does anybody have any comments?
Hmm? Thank you.
Thank you.
So how long you guys gonna keep doing that?
Huh?
How long you guys gonna keep doing that then?
How long?
Yeah, you do it all winter.
I think we're not doing February and January.
Okay.
That's about what.
Yeah. This month. When is that?
Golden Pond, they brought over a busload from Columbus, and one of the senior centers or something.
Is that right? Well,
The more the merrier.
yeah, it's, you know, it's nice they can do that.
It's sort of fun.
And it gets them out. And,
You know, we had a pretty big crowd. Part of it was, I think, the kids were back to school and the grandparents were.
Right, we have a tie, we have a tie for the three highest votes, so we do not need a tiebreaker. In no particular order, Beth Baird, Nicole Ford, and William Meredith have the three highest votes. Jill has 2 votes. So based on this, I'm going to have Janetta keep these, because these are records of the township. And you should hold on to these as your records. I have nothing further for you this evening. This is all that needed to be accomplished. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll stick around, but for the most part, we're completed with our
We're done.
work.
That was my fun one, crazy.
All right, are there any other comments or questions?
Did they say?
Hmm?
Did they say who?
So as far as the budgets go,
Beth,
which
Nicole, yeah.
still need to be completed, does the merged board now,
I got a question though, to be honest with you. We got 2 different things and everybody's on one side. How come nobody got off on the other side? We got everything in. Oh, Nikki, I didn't hear it. My fault, I'm sorry. It's cool.
so budget wise, I know they were doing budget hearings at the county today.
You want me to answer that? Okay. Budget wise, we've been instructed that, Jonetta, we've submitted, the total merged township proposed budget through the Nineveh Township portal on Gateway. We've been instructed that each township should go through and adopt, because by the time those had to be advertised, we didn't know if this was gonna happen or not. We now know, but we've been instructed that each township should go ahead and have their meetings, as always. There's a big, when the public, notice to taxpayers ran, there's a big explanation under Nineveh Township about what is happening with the budget. So that satisfies the notice to taxpayer on that. So when the budget is adopted, it will be the combined budget, okay? And that's what will be used, because they don't have their system set up for us to do that already. So that was the way they advised us to submit it. And the CIPs, each township is adopting their own for now. That's what we were advised.
And make sure you get that done by September 30th.
And my budget is gonna be, submitted just like the merger didn't happen, just because that's what DLGF wanted me to do, so we're
That's the ninth.
We're just going through the motions over here.
Yeah, that'll be the ninth.
The 9th, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're doing theirs on the 9th too.
Do we have any idea how long it'll take the state to okay what we've done tonight?
They don't really okay things so much as they just acknowledge that you've done it.
year
Oh, so it didn't have to be approved by the state? did it?
Well, they don't have to approve it, but approval is kind of implied when they have to receive the merged budget. They have there's two competing statutes. One says if you want a new civil levy, you should be done by June 30.
Yeah.
So you avoid having the duplication. But also in the merger statute, it says from the General Assembly, the DLGF shall do everything possible to assist all townships in attempting to merge. So we presented that to the DLGF and they go, yeah, we'll help you out, but you may have to run some things parallel, meaning you may have to do separate budgets and separate CIPs as if this doesn't work. I think what will happen is you will turn in separate CIPs because there's no merged CIP. Next year will be a merged CIP, and you will only do the one budget next year. I think your two individual budgets will be in the gateway for compliance only, and you will only get the merged budget. So that's what you will end up with. And I think because they see that it's a step down, they're gonna say, yeah.
It's okay.
I'm being a little funny, but it is what happened last time. I submitted stuff to the Secretary of State and others, and they're like, what is this? Same with the county. I mean, you're second. You know, they will see literally right now, part of the reason why it's hard to get help. They are inundated. They are doing budget seminars and hearing budget questions and still, you know, adopting work that came from the assembly and still dealing with all these, you know, people with questions on CIPs. They see that very frequently, so there's a beaten path. We're Lewis and Clark. We're the second to go through this, and so I think they'll ask if you meant to. If you meant to, then they'll let you go.
And they have all the financial documentation already, so all they're waiting on is the signed resolutions. And I feel like once that comes out, once they get that, well, I think we're done now, really, we're done now.
Yeah.
But the 18th of October.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I can't hear it.
No, I don't think so. All right.
Hearing
None.
Adjourn?
Either
Is there a
day, any
motion to
day.
adjourn? Mary moved to adjourn. Is there a second?
That's a cool.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Go ahead.
Time you guys.
Just one. The entire package.
I got 6:24.
What were the names of the two, or the three that were on the board?
We do
Yeah.
it.
Beth, I got that one.
No, I'm sorry.
Nicole.
I think that's,
Yeah.
When's our meeting?
the ninth, the ninth, next Tuesday.
Yeah.